Hi guys, welcome back. So do you know that your transaction is useless if it doesn't follow ACID properties? So what does it mean? So there are four properties whose short form is ACID. So it stands for A, atomicity, C, consistency, I, isolation, and D, durability. If your transaction in a database management system follows or adhere to these four properties, then your transaction is a healthy transaction in DBMS. So we also called it as transaction management system because we are handling different transactions. What are the transactions? It can be anything. In fintech company, we call it as a financial transaction. In some other company, like for example in social media, so writing tweets, storing those tweets in backend is also a transaction. So transaction can be anything which is given to or taken from a system which manages all the database in your company. So let's get started to see what are the different properties that comprises of this ACID compliance. So first is atomicity. So atomicity means either transaction should be successful or it should be nothing. So what does it mean? So if we commit a transaction, and if it is successful, it should be completely successful. It should not be partially successful. Otherwise, it should be zero. So let's take an example of ATM machine. We go to ATM machine and we withdraw money. So if I withdrawn 500 rupees, then from my account 500 rupees should be subtracted. Then only this transaction is complete. If that didn't happen, it's not atomic. Okay, so transaction should be either fully successful or nothing. This is called as atomicity. Next is consistency. Your database system should be consistent before and after the transaction is processed. It should not happen that the database system was working properly, it was working fine, but when you did a transaction, after that it started failing, or after that it started behaving in different fashion. So it should not happen. Your database system should be consistent irrespective of the transactions which are happening on the system. Next is isolation. Isolation means there are different transactions, like there are 1,000 transactions, and at the same time maybe we are processing all the 1,000 transactions. So this transaction should not interfere between each other. So let's take an example. Suppose me and my friend are withdrawing money from two different ATM machines of the same bank, and I just withdrawn 500 rupees, and it should, like in ideal scenario, the 500 amount should be subtracted from my savings account. But what if that is subtracted from the friend's account? This should not happen. It looks cool, but this should not be ideal scenario, right? So these are the two separate transactions. This should be processed separately. This should be handled separately. This is called as isolation. And the last one is durability. Your transaction should be durable. What does it mean? Let's take an example. In a same ATM machine, suppose you withdrawn 500 rupees again, and this time before subtracting the 500 amount from your savings account, power got lost. So what will happen, right? So now your system doesn't have electricity to actually process this completed transaction, like subtracting 500 rupees from my savings account. Does that mean that I have a bonus 500 rupees? No. In that case, bank taken care in the DBMS, like the transaction is durable, which means whenever the power will come back after 4 hours, 5 hours, or the backup comes back, then that particular transaction, if that was successful, those will be processed and made completed irrespective of when that processed it was partial. So at the time of any natural calamity or any unforeseen circumstances, it should hold the state and it should be durable. It should not be instant. If that instance lost, the transaction is lost. No, it should be durable. So these are the four properties that every transaction should adhere to, and if it adheres to, it is called as healthy transaction. So if you like this type of videos which are factuals in technology, we will visit few more things in technology, and subscribe to this channel. Cheers.